When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. Become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you.
Peace and power, everyone, world, everyone. Dr. Dennis Assault Winkler back at you again in the box with QueenA B. QueenA B, say hi to the world.
What's up, world? Doc in the box, we here.
Doc in the box. What I want to do is get started by saying welcome to Doc in the Box, second episode, allowing us to reintroduce ourselves on BlaKBoxx Radio, where we platform Black excellence. Yes. Period. Right? Yeah. I want to start off by saying, family, please like, share, and subscribe. You know, we got a spicy topic today. QueenA B and I have been, talking about this thing for months, years even maybe. And, we finally have arrived. And, we want to talk about this Black male or Black men versus Black women relationships, or Black male and female relationships. You understand? So Sister QueenA, you said it's some things going on out in those streets with our brothers and sisters. And, what's going on?
There's a lot of things going out here. I first want to stop and say happy Ramadan. Ramadan started on Monday. So I want to say peace to the folks, my Black boxers who are Islamic. So I just want to say happy Ramadan to everyone. I think it's Ramadan Mubarak. So I want to say that. All right. So what's going on in these streets? Yeah. What's going on in these streets when it comes to Black men and Black women? Listen, I see a lot of things on Facebook. I hear I'm in some groups with women, and it's like we're here. It's like Black men are here, Black women are here, and we're fighting in the middle. And I just think this needs to be talked about. We got to flesh out what the problems are, bro. Like, what is it?
We got to flesh out what the problems are.
We're traumatized. I feel it's a lot of different things. So tonight I want us to kind of like delve into it. Have some of the Black boxes chime in and jump in the chat. Don't hold back. And, just tell us a few things that you see out here between Black men and Black women. But, just being a Black woman out here, single, these streets.
Oh, so you single? Oh, you single? You put it out there, huh? She's single, y'all. She said, she act like she wasn't trying to do that. Don't sit up here and act like you wasn't trying to let the world know that you are available. She got her little Bantu knot showing today. And she like, look, I'm available. I mean, I know how to interpret. I'm a therapist.
Yeah, see, you coming for me on the low fly. I see. I am not putting it out there, but I understand. I mean, I'm not dating, so I'm not really in these streets like that. But I see it. And, as a woman, we always looking at the stock. When you walk into a place, you're looking at the stock, like men. You know what I'm saying? So
the stock, huh?
Yeah, the stock, the male stock out here. Just like the men are looking at the women's stock. Even
tell us more. Tell us more. Give us the secrets.
Well, there is it's a lot going on out here. I think we experience our carnality in different ways than I think my mother did. Or my father did. Like the way that we're, sex, it doesn't have all of these, you see, prerequisites anymore. That's what I would say. And so a lot of people are in different things. They got the situationship, you got married with a girlfriend, married with a boyfriend. You got married people together, swingers, married couples coming together. So it's a lot. With the Black man, Black woman thing, that's sexual, but I'm talking about relating. I think the relationship is a little severed, and I think it's a lot of trauma in that relationship. What
A
do you
lot
think?
of trauma, a lot of trauma. You were saying something. You were saying situationships and
Yeah,
swinging and
yeah.
all these type of things, and you spoke about
Poly and all of this, and yeah,
trauma. And I think we have so many variations of relationships, and I'm not saying all. Let me be clear. But I think that we have so many variations of relationships due to our unhealed traumas. And in fact, when I say trauma, what I mean is our fears. And many times we justify the many types of relationships we take part in as a means of human expression. And I'm not saying it's not human expression. I think you can almost do anything, right? But the reality is we have to know the difference between when we're telling ourselves the truth. Many times we tell ourselves lies and we convince ourselves that we're doing these things because this is what I want. But in fact, that's not what we want. In fact, we're doing it because we feel like we're in survival mode. So one, check. When you have already had, let's say, childhood trauma, and then maybe trauma from past relationships, then what happens is you then begin to, I lost my thought, but you begin to justify again why, you're in these particular situationships.
wow.
In fact, I don't even want to call it a relationship, people say. So, because I'm operating from a place of fear. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
No, they're not even identifying that I'm operating from a place of fear. They're saying, I am doing this because I'm liberated and this is what I want to do. But at the same time, I've seen those type of mindsets blow up every time, mostly.
Wow. And it's because it's fear based. Is that what you're?
Yeah, and I think we have to distinguish. I think that's where I was going. I think we have to learn to distinguish between my true desires, wants, needs, and not operating from a place of fear. And again, that's what I'm saying. So the fear from the trauma, and then we also have it impacted by the fear that my time is running out.
Yeah, that's women.
Men too.
Ooh. Okay, because I think that dynamic a lot of times is women, because we're told, we're not told genetically, the way we're made, at certain points, there's no more bearing of children for women. Men can bear children mostly all of their life. And so women work into these few years, and then we got to get a lot done. We got to get our education done. We got to get our maturation process together. We got to be a mother. So we have to do a lot of things in the 20, 30-year period.
This tight window.
So we're forcing all of this stuff in. And then when the time after we forced it and we look up, we're older, and we're setting our ways a little, and we are scared we're going to be alone without children.
Right. So the fear for brothers many times, and also sisters, is that my time is running out. So because my time is running out, when I get into this relationship, I have to make sure this is the relationship. So I have to make sure I'm making the best decision. And I don't want to waste my time with this situation and it not be the one. So there's a certain level of fear that comes with that the other partner feels. And now that person begins to feel like, why are you bullying me? Why are you pushing on me? Why, whatever. I'm not saying it's from men. Men do this and women do this.
Yep.
And the fear also comes in now that the fear is so heightened that we begin to ask so many questions. And I know this is really popular in the streets. We ask so many questions of the person, and that person leads that person to being afraid to be in the relationship, because like, you asked me a lot of questions. And then on the other hand, you become afraid to ask questions because you don't want to chase the person off. And many times you actually ask questions to chase the person off because you're so afraid. So it's all these different dynamics that happen because we don't want to be hurt. And we many times want to ignore and really not identify or at least agree that this is what we're doing. We want this next thing to work. And I can't waste any more time with anybody else. So this has to work or I have to move on. But now I get in these situationships, which I think is, I don't even want to call it a situationship. It's just, we just having sex. And now I'm just having sex with this person because I don't want to attach to this person. This person is not someone that I'm going to attach to, but I'm going to suggest that men and women suck at that. Women think men do better. I would say maybe to some degree, maybe, but no, once men get connected, they also hurt. They're humans. I want to let people know men like connection. They want connection. They desire connection, but they may have learned some tools to kind of separate a little bit. But when they start getting 40 and 50 and 60, they either gave up like many women have, or they're like, look, I want something and it has to work. So I'm operating from a place of fear. Desperation, fear makes some, Logic says, desperation, fear makes some do some crazy things.
Yeah. Wow. So, you know what? And that sounds like the 30 and older, what you're saying, like these happen. But then we have our young people who are like from 25 to maybe 35, where they don't, they're a little freer with themselves, and they don't have the barriers, and they feel empowered sexually. We got some female rappers out here that they're very empowered with their bodies, sexy red.
I don't think they feel empowered. I think that's all fake.
So you don't think they feel empowered because they come? I
haven't met a woman yet who truly likes what they say they like. And what I mean by that is, I'm just gonna have sex with them, and I'm okay with it, and I'm good. And they convince you, and they convince themselves. But after a while, there's a connection. I mean, I do it all day, right over there, right there, and they come in and they want to convince. I sit down and I talk to them, and they come in and tell me how they're gonna be like, quote unquote, what they believe men are like. And I'm gonna come in. He's just a fuck for me. Excuse my language. He's just a nut for me. Using, excuse my language, but all this language to try to flip the script that they think that men are able to do. So I want to get my thing off, and I don't want any connection. And then what you realize is they literally do. And they'll say the whole time, I am not connected, until they find out that man has another woman, or he's over there doing it. I don't want to ask him anything because it's not mine. And then you start hearing it. Let me slow down. You start hearing the desperation, as Brother Logic said. You start hearing the questions like, he's with me every day. We spend a lot of time together. But this is the same person that you say you don't want to be in a committed relationship with. So now, when people bring to you this idea that, and these thoughts, and they're just saying like, we spent tonight together. We were together all last week. You know what? He answers my phone every time I call him. Like, just generally, randomly, just throwing that out to your therapist or anyone else is evidence that you're really trying to find evidence that this person is your person. Ooh. Although you don't want to really tie the knot or really ask him or her if he or she is your person, because you fear that you will run them off.
Wow. You said a lot. Whoo, I think
at 20 years too, 20, 21, 18 even, people, we're afraid.
Straight afraid. I got this off of Facebook. I think screen. It says, "We matching you niggas energy this year. Since y'all we matching you niggas energy this year. Since y'all think it's cool to cheat, don't cry when it's her turn." I said, "Oh,
okay? Let's say that again." You say
that's from a female right there. I was like, "Whoa!" And
she's talking to brothers.
Yeah, she says we matching you niggas energy. Since y'all think it's cool to cheat, don't cry when it's her turn.
Now this person, I'm not sure who they are, but but this person to me sounds like they may have just been in the heat of being hurt. Maybe just the heat of being hurt at that moment.
They're inside of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it amazes how the hurt makes you lash out this way. It's her turn. Why not listen? That is not your person. Let me heal this, move on, and find somebody else.
Because it's hurt. I'm hurt. So I literally, even if I do want to move on, I don't want to connect again. This is what I was just speaking about. So this is evidence to what I stated earlier. This person is saying, I am not going to try to be in a relationship. I'm going to match your energy. I'm going to get me, quote unquote, a nut off. Like I hear women say this, which, I'm going to get me a nut because this is what I think men do. And I'm going to treat you like a thing because this is what I think men do. And again, men don't do that.
Ooh.
Boys do that. Males do that, but men don't do that. And if you reciprocate that level of energy, you are a girl, not a
woman
or a female, but you are not a woman.
Absolutely. But if you have seen, there are many people who agree with her, and it's unfortunate.
The hurt is pervasive.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
Now, I am not saying that that person should not hurt, right? I empathize with her. But if she really can carry that out, which again, I haven't seen too many women carry out that level of disconnectedness like she's saying she's going to do. It's going to be, in other words, I'm going to run through you brothers. I've seen sisters try to convince themselves of that, but after a while they start counting the bodies. They start saying, you know what, I'm tired of that. They start saying, I want a relationship. They will lie to you for months, and they will lie to themselves for months, because that's what trauma does. Trauma has you not even believing yourself, and you just don't want to get hurt. So you create this shell of a self.
Wow.
To move throughout the world to get the pleasure that you want to feel good. So if you like penis or vagina, then what happens is you try to go and get that to help yourself feel satisfied. But at some point you realize that alone is not enough, and there's a greater hole inside of me, maybe even greater, and I'm going to say that is greater than this relationship. You have to deal with whatever that trauma is that got you in these relationships, that has you in this cycle of being in these repetitive relationships of being disappointed, being abused, being left, or whatever. And even to some degree, we also have to take our own accountability, because it's not always the other person. And I'm going to argue that it's never the other person. It's always us. And that does not discount what the other person has done. But why did you, and this is what I share with my sisters and also my brothers, but more specifically my sisters, is you have to figure out why you keep choosing this person. Now, this person has issues. Yes, they have issues, and the last one had issues too, and the one before that had issues, and the one before that had issues, and now you can blame all the things they've done to you, and rightfully so. They've done some things. They cheated on you. They abused you. They did all these type of things. But the reality is, what am I attracted to? And why am I attracted to that? And many times we are attracted to those things that will traumatize us, which is indicative that there's some unhealed trauma inside of us. When we've been through traumatic experiences, what appeases us, what attracts us, is that which will traumatize us.
Whoa. So trauma attracts trauma.
Absolutely. I say trauma begets trauma.
Whoa. So a lot of people have no clue that really the common denominator you just said was the person. Yes, you've been hurt by others, but the common denominator is you. Correct?
The common denominator is you and the type of people that you choose. Because you don't like the square. Let's keep that a buck. You know, you don't like the person. Now some people would say, I mean, this is from let's say, even men. I hear men. I want a woman who can, you know, like cuss me out. If she can't cuss me out, I'm not attracted to her.
Wow.
And next thing you know, she's stabbing him, or the next, or she like the man who she know can blow the joint up. This is what some sisters told me. I like the man who can handle his business and blow the joint up.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but the problem is the brother who's quickly or easily led to blow the joint up, he doesn't have, if he can't control himself to blow joints up unnecessarily, I would say, and that's what attracts you because you feel like there's power in that, and something in that is a paternal type of figure to you that represents power, and you're attracted to that, right? But this same person, he, and I'm going to say, or she will bring that same level of energy to you over dinner, or when he gets home, or when he's going to work, or when you're driving on a long trip, or whenever.
So, Dr. Dog, tell the folks what blow the joint up is. Like, because some people don't know what blow the joint is.
What's blow the joint up is like, you know, if you in the restaurant and somebody look at you kind of sideways or something, your man he gonna handle he gonna handle business.
Okay.
You know, you go somewhere and you know he need to handle business, and I'm not saying people should not protect themselves, but blowing the joint up it surpasses protecting yourself. It's like I got a lot of edge on me, and it ain't gonna take much to get me going.
So they like
and I'll cuss all of y'all out, and if y'all want some, I got it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have it, but what I'm saying is you want that man with a certain level of aggressiveness. The problem with that aggression is that it doesn't pick its targets.
You gonna get it too.
You gonna get it too, because anything that blows me up, yes,
you getting it too.
And we know we like, and the same guys that call themselves, I'm sorry, brothers, don't come for me. You know, call me whatever, right? When I hear a brother that has to call himself an alpha male, you already know you're in trouble. And we so attracted to it. I mean, like, I'm an alpha male. Okay, next. What's the deal? You're an alpha male. And most of those brothers who call themselves alpha males don't really specifically even fit what a real alpha male is. You know, I mean, because when you're talking about chimpanzees and colonies of, you know, and these type of things, it really, when you look at the alpha male, the gorillas and all those type of things, what you really, what some of the research really shows is the man who can really influence and organize and communicate is the alpha male. Absolutely. But people think the alpha male is the one going like this.
The tough guy. Yes, it isn't.
No. Right. Oh, you read that too?
Well, I just know when I studied some gorillas one time for diabetes, and when they gave them meat, and then how they actually alpha male is actually the structurer,
right?
The one that can control everyone. He is tough, but his toughness is all of those things, not particularly just beating everybody up or being very forthright. You know, that's not just his toughness.
Right. The ones who's beating their chest are the ones who are in fear of the alpha male.
Yeah.
Because the alpha male, and I think it shows that his ability to regulate his emotions is more superior than the quote unquote the people that keep calling themselves alpha males. They lose their cool about everything. Yep. So the brother who gonna blow the joint up gonna lose his cool. You know, like lots of people don't like the brothers gonna say, all right, hold on, let me just handle this really quick. You know, let me talk to this. You know, we want the brothers gonna punch. Or
the alpha male don't get riled up over foolishness. It takes you got to mess with his whole joint. You know, everybody around. You know, the whole group. So anyway, I wanted to kind of flip this because a lot of the dissension I see between men and women also is, you know, our trauma from being objectified in America in a lot of ways. So when women are not feeling, I think, their total selves or feeling love, they start attacking men in other ways. And this is something I read, and I want some male ones too. Y'all guys, send us some. Send me some stuff at BlackBoxRadio@gmail.com. But I got this one. It says, unfortunately, most men of today, especially ours, have not been taught to be leaders in their households or community. So, you know, and I'm not saying that that's not true, but I'm not saying that's totally true neither. So this was something a woman posted, and it sounds like a place of anger. And we started attacking, you know, the situations that Black men are in, per se.
Yeah.
Coming out of single family homes, some of them, and women led homes. And, you know, I think we start playing with the narrative a lot. Because I think that we're doing that too when we get angry at men.
They're not taught to be leaders, you say?
It says, unfortunately, most men of today, especially ours, have not been taught to be leaders in their households or community.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the statistics and what the actual training program is that she's speaking about, or what statistics that she has to back all of that. You know, I mean, I think I can
get
her
anger and her trauma. That's it.
You know, but what I will say is this: I don't know if it's that easy, right? I think that, yeah, again, I think it's probably letting out their trauma, but I also think that the state that we find ourselves in is in a culturalist society, or a Eurocentric cultural society. In fact, that's why I have that intro song with Dr. Amos Wilson saying, "Reclaim your Africanness." That's why it says, "I'm Black and I'm proud." He says, when you reclaim your Africanness, you'll get your mind back. And what that means is, to reclaim your Africanness means that you now also you institute cultural practices in your lifestyle. You have a value system. You have something to tell you how you must do things. And the way we're playing now, when they say women, when I hear someone says a man is not trained up to be a leader, what comes to my mind instantly is, even if he's trying to be a leader, he's trained to be a leader, have you been trained to be the other part?
Is it coming?
Yeah. And so that piece there, I think, is also a problem. You know? And do you want a leader? So are you now saying you're going to be a follower? That's what you want?
Help me to
or a helpmate, right?
Yeah, I mean, are you ready to do that? I mean, wow. That's
so
look at it.
Yeah, and I hear couples talk about that all the time, and I realize they're caught in some, although they many times don't even claim to be religious, but I think they're caught in a Eurocentric version of religion, right? Whereas this man has to be the big bad man. I'm not saying men shouldn't protect. I'm not saying any of that. I think we all should protect each other.
Okay.
Now, and we use the strengths that we have available to our avail. So on the flip side of that, I can attest that there's many of us. I don't know if it's most of us. There's many of us that struggle in leadership positions, and it's not even. I mean, I won't even say leadership positions alone. I think we suffer in position of being a partner. I think we struggle with being in relationships. So no matter if he's the leader and you're the follower, or you're the helpmate or the wife or whatever, and he's the leader, or vice versa, we struggle with being in relationships. And again, the finger has to point back to everyone involved.
So, wow. So you flipped it on her. Is she ready? And Ulysses says, Brother you says a wife. Are you ready to be a wife? You know, the wife and a husband thing is something, because I think a lot of people have some traditional rules in that. We have now these broken down rules of what being a wife and a husband is. Can we really define that, Dr. Da? Is that something in that
Define what?
a white, the role per se, because everyone roles is different. Some roles are more traditional with what a wife should be. Some men feel that a wife should be right beside them. Some feel behind them. Some mean help them. We all have, and women have different roles for men too. So I think that it's kind of hard to say that if men aren't leaders in their household, then are you ready to be a wife? Because I think this wife thing and husband thing got to be redefined a lot of times. We're in the 21st century, and I think a lot of times we're not thinking in that mode. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we know legally what a wife is, or culturally what a wife is, or what a husband is. But now, what are the roles? What is the culture again? What have we agreed to? What is the covenant in our relationship? It's always relationship. There's no right or wrong way to do a thing. That's part of the issue. We're in a society where it has a variety of cultures. The problem is that we come into relationships and we think that our culture is the culture. We think the way that I think is the way to think. We think that the way that I do things is the way to do things. When we come into, because look, for example, my wife comes from Jamaica, I come from Baltimore. There's just different things and different ways that we do things, right? But the thing for me that helped me is that I was raised up in lots of culture and to respect culture. And so there's certain things that we have to think about because this lack of culture, this Eurocentric imposition of culture on us, which we continue to follow. We continue to follow. We aren't really looking for real marriages. We are looking for fairy tales. That is a part of the issue. We're looking for fairy tales.
I like that. She eat jerk chicken and Doc eat crab cakes. Love it.
Well, I'm allergic to crabs, but I did eat crab cakes until I was about 10 or something, right? That's fine.
Wow, that's something. Man, so you said a mouthful. It's like when people come into a relationship and if their culture is something and they're traditional, that's what it should be.
Yeah, we merged those crab cakes. So we have a fusion restaurant right now, right? A Jamaican American soul fusion. Versus trying to say mine's is better than hers, we actually have fused together the Afro-American culture, African-American culture, and the St. Elizabethan Jamaican country culture, and we made that thing work.
Drop it. What's the name of it? What's the address? Drop it. What is it?
Oh, 5525 Harford Road. The address. I mean, that's the address. The name is Diaspora and Soul Jamaican American Fusion. We have to fuse our lives together rather than say this is how it's done and this is how it's done, and then we competing for the rest of our lives saying this is how it is. We're very dogmatic, and this is how we've been taught in the society that there's a this or that way of doing a thing. In an African perspective, it's a this and way of doing things.
Look how you brought that back. This is it on the screen, guys. Diaspora and Soul. Listen, if you're in Baltimore, let me tell you something. Them vegan chunks, listen to your sister. Camille is making some moves over there. Come and get you a plate. Come into TNAT. You can get so many. You get the Sosoro. You can get some herbs up in there. They got herbs. They got a store. It's Black centered, African centered. Please.
It's culture.
It's culture. Hit it up. What's the address, brother?
5525 Harford Road. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, share, family, because we're trying to get in the algorithm. Y'all know that's an uphill battle. So please just give us a like, or even if you're a dislike, it doesn't matter. It all gets us in the algorithm.
You know it. We love it. We love our haters too. Love that. So that's Diaspora and Soul. Listen, I love how you fuse that in. You're a marketing maven, bro. I'm feeling you on that. But let's get back, because I was saying because you said the dogmatic thing, and you're right. And that's what I want a lot of, I think, as Black people, is we're acculturated in this culture, but we also have our Africanness that is in our DNA and our traditional stuff. And then we in Christianity, we're very Christian forward. And that's a very traditional, paternal type of religion. And so when we say paternal and white men and how they bring forth paternalistic movements in this cultural society we live in, it's very man heavy. It's very male dominated. And so even black men, I hear black men say, well, what women should be doing and I'm not particularly sure if we weren't particularly so enshrouded in this culture that we would be so, like, as you say, dogmatic. Do you think I'm wrong in that?
Yeah, and I don't think it's about the system per se. I think a person can practice whatever system that works for them.
Okay.
Now, how you practice the system is going to determine if it works for you. And I think that, any type of system can become problematic, even traditional African systems, if both parties don't agree. Like, you can have a person that's in a quote unquote traditional system, and if both parties agree, then it works. But the issue is that the systems that we're utilizing and the ideals that's being projected or given to us, they don't match. We have a mismatch thing going on. So on one hand, mama is saying, look, girl, baby, go ahead and be a real a Christian lady. And now she's practicing and she's reading the Bible and it's talking about submit to your man and all these different things. I'm not the expert, and then on the other hand, they're also saying, go get your job. Don't worry about a man and, do your thing. So it's like this is what mental health is like. It's like a state of confusion.
Ooh.
So, it's a state of confusion. So it's like the message that you're getting on one hand does not really complement the message on the other hand. And this is what happens internally when we're dealing with mental health struggles. And I'm saying we're dealing with this internal or these incongruent messages on a community societal level. And it's not just even us, because the culture of this society gives this mix match message. Quote that, mix match message.
That's the 3 M's. Love that. Okay, so there's a lot of that. You're right. A lot of.
How you doing? I'm sorry, I was gonna say blessings to Sister Shauna Divine in the house.
Yeah, that's my girl. What's up, Shauna? Peace to you. Big ups. So one thing I do want to talk about too, I hear a lot of with the black man, black woman, that is now the black man, white women, or and black women not having the choices and not having a big pool to date. Do we extend ourselves to other, outside of our race? And, I think that whoever you love, that's on you. You have to live with that. But what do you think about it? Because that's a big thing, I think, for black women. We think that a lot of times we see the quality men or the men who have that bag or they got that money, got that cash, they're giving it to a whole nother race, or, they're spending time with white women or other women, not just white, because there's other women who love our high value men, as they call them. Because I don't think high value men have money. I think high value men doesn't have anything to do with money. But a lot of people think, like the basketball players and the football players, you know what I'm talking about. Like, what do you think about that with the black men?
I think we're delusional. Again, I often say trauma deludes us. It creates fantasies in our mind. And if most women, I'm not saying this is the case, but I'm going with your premise. If most women want that man with that level of bag, they've already failed.
Ooh.
Because that's not necessarily a typical situation for most men in general, no matter what your race is, right? So let's get that straight from the outset. But because we live in fantasy land due to our upbringing, our rearing through TV and social media and Snow White and Cinderella, what happens is we begin to want this man to come and sweep us up on a horse with a crown on, and every woman wants that man. I've talked to sisters. They say that, look, like I've even seen to the fact that I've worked with brothers, right, and we've done great work, and then the sister, and I've talked to sisters about this, and they kind of corroborated my ideas that most women want their man to be the man. And hence, many times that even strains the relationship between men and men, because men need to be in relationship with men, not boys, and with men, so they can be on the straight and arrows. But the problem is this competitive society, brother HUMPDay, you have quote unquote what somebody believes is a one up on somebody in whatever way, and now they're saying, well, you need to do your own thing. You need to do this and you need to do that. Don't be doing that with him and all these type of things, because I have to have the man. So now you break down the community of men that can support him. Then you ask him the question, why are you dealing with these guys? Because you wanted him to deal with guys that were on his level or below his level, quote unquote. I don't agree with all this level talk, but what I'm saying is, if you bought into this society's ideas, then you begin to put things on these different hierarchical terms, and you see the world, and you want the prince, you want the king. And I mean, I've literally sit and talked to women who told me that they want a Malcolm X. And then they literally said, brother, I want a person, like, if it ain't Malcolm X, I need a person like you. And in their mind, they're not going to be in a relationship unless the man is in some influence capacity, have some level of influence, power, prestige, or some control, or what have you. So, I mean, I'm not saying this is all women, but what I'm saying is this happens. And I see women who save themselves because they need to have the man on the horse who can. So what I'm saying, the premise of the conversation is just off, because the value system is broken down. The value system is broken down to what you believe a man is. So I need the man with the bag. I need the man with the influence. I need the man with all of that.
You're correct. But what's being paraded in front of us on television per se, or if you're watching television, or these guys who they're not really high value, they're high resourced. They have what you would say white women, and I told my mom, like, listen, if you see that, it's because they're the ones available. We working. Black women out here working and going to school and being the most educated and doing what we have to do to try to get a one up in here. So a lot of times we're not present. So I think that happens a lot too. We're not present in the same building with the NBA guys and the NFL guys.
Well, the reality is this also. A lot of them, I've counseled professional ball players, right?
Right.
So a lot of this is that they also go to very white universities. I think we have to look at this thing really realistic.
Yeah.
And so when the pickings are slim, like if the college is 99.9% white, and you don't have the political ideology that says that I need to be with a black woman, then I'm going to more likely, with higher probability, find someone outside of my race.
That's what I'm saying. We're not present. And a lot of them are going to PWIs. That's true. Their whole environment is around the others. And
so it's not a shock. It's not a shocker to me, because everybody hasn't been through Dr. Umar's course, like on his political course on snow bunnies or what have you. So what I'm saying is, because everybody doesn't have those political ideas, I'm not saying a person should or shouldn't have these ideas, because that's not my job. But what I am saying is, if you have the political ideas, I understand why. If you don't have that political idea, I also understand why. But what happens is, we have to be more realistic. I hear people, parents move. They say, okay, I moved out of the Baltimore City,
out of the hood.
I moved out of, well, we got I don't like to say that I like to say black people have various different levels of hoods, right? Right. So you moved out of the black neighborhood, right? I mean, they can call it the hood all they want, because to people, they believe anything that's black is the hood. It doesn't matter how much or what is going on, how influent people are. They just call everything the hood. That's, to me, that is a toxic mindset. That is a inferiority complex that we still haven't dealt with. So then we move out of our neighborhoods, and then they're overly populated in our minds with people that look like us. So we move into these other neighborhoods, and we bring our children with us. And then somehow we magically believe that these young men are going to find a sister, and there's only one sister probably in the school. And I just hypothetically,
Preach,
She
bro.
might not be interested in him, or he might not be interested in her, but you got 1,000 other people from other situations that actually he does jive with. And you
Preach.
haven't, even if you gave him the political idea that you need to be raised first, or what have you, you put him in a very peculiar, her in a very peculiar situation.
Preach. Preach. You telling it. And that's one of our issues. We're moving out from around our own, and we're going to move around to others. We acculturate our children more into the society, into the culture, into the schooling, and they're at a further minority in their schooling than you expect. Oh, why they got white friends? Why they got white girlfriend? And listen, this is what happens. We do this to ourselves, I think, in a lot of ways. So that's a good. That's a good take on it. I never even thought of that. Okay, so
I mean, and I'm not, again, I'm a therapist, so I have the, professional. I have a professional opinion, right?
right.
But I will say this. Yeah, I mean, the just because you have a political opinion as a parent doesn't mean that your child is going to adopt that political opinion. And maybe, especially not when they're younger.
Bingo.
I mean, because there's some things that be working, and those things tend to be hormones. And hormones don't necessarily care about color as much as we think.
They don't care.
Especially, I mean, literally, you can put yourself in, and I don't mean any harm by saying this. I'm just speaking reality. This is why when we find that many people who go to prison tend to find some hormones be working. You understand? In both males and female institutions.
Yes.
So hormones be working, and your eyes will start liking some things.
That's it.
You understand? So I'm saying it's real out here in these streets.
That's fact.
And hormones are hormones, and nature is nature. And I'm not suggesting that I would do that, but what I'm suggesting is that I understand.
Whoa. See, that's what I like, how you break it to the down. That's what's up. Yeah, and that is the truth. Hormones, I don't think they have a color. Sometimes they don't have an age. Sometimes
they don't have a sex and gender even. Yes.
Yeah, so they don't gender. They don't have a space. They just going to do what they do.
We have to keep it 100. We have to keep it real. And if we don't talk about this in a real way, we are not going to really deal with the issue. And I'm not even saying it's an issue. But what I am saying is we're not going to deal with our own issue, because we have problems that we create, like moving our children out to Washington State, where there's only like 5 black people in the town, and you think he gonna come out with a black woman. I'm sorry, that's deluded.
Whoa, you going after the educated, the pinky up black. You better watch yourself, brother Doc.
What happened? The educated?
Going after the educated blacks and the pinky up blacks who moved to the county and moved to
the county, huh?
The county. They take their children to the county, to all the services in Montgomery County.
I never heard nobody actually say the county.
Yeah, the Montgomery County. You know how they do it. I think it's very important that we understand that being around ourselves is how we build ourselves. And if we want different neighborhoods, if we want different, we have to build them, and we have to stay in them. And I think that's been lost on us. It's like if we run and our proximity to the others makes us feel safe. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, politically, I believe that we should. Now, this is not that everybody has to listen to what Dr. Dennis Asar Winkler says. I'm just saying politically, I believe, due to the reality that we find ourselves in, that we have to realize that for the most part, only we are going to be able to help us. I mean, even well-intended other people will struggle with relinquishing their power to a degree where they can actually uplift our community. No, it would hurt too bad to uplift us. Why would you give up? And this is not something I'm saying. This is have been said, and it's said in so many places, in so many books. But the reality is, why? Most of us can't do it. What I'm saying is, most of us, well, just think about it. You're black if you identify as being black. And you ain't trying to give up that Cadillac for the people in your community many times. You ain't trying to give up nothing. So, and maybe you might get to the point that you will, once you realize that no change is going to come about unless we all, to some level, sacrifice. So why would somebody who has no relation and can't relate to you do that? Because we struggle so much with it. Why do we think another group of people will literally take us as far as we need to go?
Like, why would they give up? Why would they give up their extras and their stuffs?
Right, and people identify in many ways.
Else they don't even have a relationship with.
Yes, people identify in many ways. In this case, I'm talking about the identity of race. So it's almost like you can utilize that with many things. Why do you think that somebody else? I'm not saying that there won't be people who, quote unquote, your allies or won't help you. There won't be any abolitionists. They're there. But I'm saying on individual levels, as Dr. Amos Wilson always speaks to, he says what happens with us, we confuse good old white people with the group. And we're not talking about the group of white people. We're not talking about the individual white person. Yeah, I mean, individual. I'm just honest, to be honest with you, I have many people that I know that's outside of race and other identities that are really good people.
Yeah.
But as a group, this is where oppression comes from groups, not individuals. And individuals, to a great degree, have a stopping point.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, and for the most part, you have some very rare that will sacrifice their life. I'm not saying it's so rare that it doesn't happen, because there's many people here who have sacrificed for us outside of our own quote unquote race. Yeah. I mean, that's just it's just too much evidence to disprove that. But I'm saying that even still, that there's been many, that's still a small number of people, statistically speaking.
Yes, that's so true. Ooh, you broke that down. So I gotta because we have 52 minutes. I want to bring something in because I've been hearing a lot about black men, black women, and that thing called child support and children, and how it's been a system of chaos for relationship between a mother and a father and parenting, and how that's broken down to hate and black men and black women hating each other. And I'm not saying other people are not on child support. I'm talking about black people. So please, you guys, don't say, well, other people too. Listen, we're here to enrich black lives.
Well, literally, you probably can just go ahead and clear that all out and say there's probably more of them on child support. I'm going to probably argue more than yeah. So let's get that out the way, and now let's talk about us.
Yeah, let's get that out the way. It was made for white folks. Understand that in 1940, we didn't get on child support until the 40s. So it's not a system that was made for black people, to be clear. So, but what I'm saying is it's brought a lot of dissension, a lot of fighting amongst us. And I just saw where a father showed his son what particularly he gave his mother. And so the son is mad at the mother because he can't get what he wants. Because he says he wanted to know, he wanted his son to know that he's paying for him. So, and then now there's a dissension between the mother has to circumvent that, and all of this extra stuff. I hear it a lot. I hear men and women talk about child support. So what do you think how's that affected the relationship of the black man and the black woman? Child support.
I don't really, honestly, when we look at the system, and I would have to have more time to really look at it on a systemic level, because I'm certain there's barriers there that are part of the system, right?
Yep.
But I think the system is larger than child support. I think with or without that child support, the problem already existed. I've seen people who really do okay with child support, and I've seen those who struggle with child support. I've seen sisters, I mean, most of the sisters that I talk to, a lot of them, I'm just gonna say a lot, don't even want to take their male partner to child support. Like, sometimes they're forced to do it if they're gonna get like some kind of assistance from the state or what have you, or what is the state, federal government, whatever, food stamps and all those type of things.
Yes.
Now, I think even with the system in that, if we had our stuff together, we could, I mean, for lack of a better term, we could make it still work. I've seen too many people make it work, but the problem started well before the system got involved in dictating that you give your $50 a month or your $100 a month. Some people make a lot of money and give very little, and some people make little money and give a lot more. So there's some problems there.
Yeah.
But I've seen. So what am I saying here? I don't think the problem started with the child support. But what I will say,
but I think
it can fuel the problem. It can, but the problem was already there, because if your mind was right and you were principled, you would take care of that child. Now, the problem that I have with child support is this: that there's people, the system is already against black men in many instances.
Yep.
And like, for example, I have family down south in the country, and there's no jobs down there. So they struggle with keeping and maintaining jobs. So then what they'll do is they'll lock the brother up, and now his bill is rising. He loses his job that he just got. So the system itself is inhumane. Child support is no different.
Yes.
But the problem started before the child support. And what we do is we focus on child support as a ultimate cause, when the cause is this funky culture that we find ourselves in. And the cause is the system that even preceded the child support. The child support is now becomes a proxy or a scapegoat. Not saying it doesn't aid and fuel, but the problem was there in the beginning. Now, I've seen very smart people who also say, look, you go get your food stamps and I'll pay child support. And guess what? You're going to get food stamps plus what I give you. And then I'm also going to give you some more money. But that's because those people know how to work together. The problem is in the relationship before child support came involved.
Hey, bingo. Ding, 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 ding. That's it. Is even with child support, because it is a very malicious system. And understand that it is made for that. It is made to ream off of you, because not only do you pay the children, you're paying into child support too. So you're paying into the system. So it is a way to get money into the system. Understand that. But other than that, you're saying the relationship was severed before child support got in there.
Yeah, I mean, nobody can play on your relationship when it's healthy. And when it's principled, people who are very principled, like I told you, Queen, I said, look, I don't care if we ever fall out, I ain't gonna never do this such and such to you.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
Because I'm principled.
Yes.
I don't need, it's not about, I'm not gonna try to get back at you. See, there's a level of hurt that hit that little girl or little boy in each other that now we haven't learned to deal with in a proper manner, to put the child before ourselves. So if we could put the child before ourselves, I think, as Brother Josh said, some people know how to work that system. But the problem is this. I'm not saying, again, let me be clear, that child support is not a problem and it doesn't have it doesn't deserve our people, because it definitely does. But it started before child support.
Ow! Listen, guys, we almost into an hour. We got to do a part 2. There's so many levels of the black man, black woman relationship. And we want to delve into that thing because, listen, if we don't come together, then we have a community that will disintegrate. We have to be together. So it is something that we have to talk about. Fighting and being angry and not dealing with our trauma and not healing is the problem. So we're going to come back. 2 Wednesdays, next Wednesday, not next Wednesday, the Wednesday after next. We're coming back. 2nd and 4th Wednesdays, Doc in the Box. Listen, we box up and out. We love you guys. Thanks for coming through. Peace.
Peace, family.
Peace, guys. We out of here. We can't hear it. I can't hear the music.
DOC, allow me to reintroduce myself. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is DOC.
Genesis our Wing Club.
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 DOC. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Genesis our